Am I seriously out here plumbing the depths of a problem in this economy? Does Starbucks serve 24-ounce cups of audacity now? How dare I explore hard questions if I don't have the easy answers? Welcome to Marketing Muckraking, the show that asks not simply what brand culture can do for us, but what it's doing to us. With your host, creative director, and brand strategist gone wild, Rachael Kay Albers, making fun of business and making business fun. This is the show for rebels, revolutionaries, and renegades who run businesses that burn the rule book. If you're sick of business podcasts that have all the answers, well, I got nothing but questions. Let's go. Episode 4. If capitalism can't solve it, what will? Keep your eyes on your own paper is excellent business advice. If you're in the business of usual. I gotcha. I know what you're thinking. Paradoxes before I've had my coffee, RKA. Why can't you ever just say something feel good and Godin-esque that I can grab and retweet and then get on with my day? Okay, here's your tweetable. Keep your eyes on your own paper if the story your business is writing has a happy ending with room enough only for you. That's it. That's the tweet. Grab it and go. The rest of this podcast will be ready to snack on once you've had your morning macchiato. Have you noticed your appetite for big ideas shrink in recent years? If it's not bite-sized, baked down, and itty-bitty enough to retweet, forget about it. This is a feature of the ideas economy, which churns out experts faster than Starbucks makes mochas and matchas and merrily squeezes out unions. Oh my! The mark of a marketable thought leader is their ability to serve up solutions in to-go cups. There's simply no time to simmer on the systemic roots of a problem. Best case scenario, you've got 18 minutes, which is the maximum length of a TED Talk, to state your case. Otherwise, you've got 280 characters like the rest of us twittering plebes. Today's idea consumer wants happy endings roomy enough for all of us, those on top and those who keep the bottom from falling out. Anand Giridharadas describes this phenomenon in his book, Winners Take All, The Elite Charade of Changing the World. Yes, this is the book that I won't shut up about on Instagram. You got to get it. It's so good. And if you read nothing else, just go straight to chapter 4. The thought leader, as he describes in this book, deals in hope. And she has some for everyone. Her win-win solutions are designed to empower people struggling within the system without threatening the powerful who rule that system. If we are frogs in the boiling waters of capitalism, a thought leader's role isn't to reveal who turned on the gas or where the stove gets its power, but to design ways for us to more comfortably endure the heat. She makes rafts, not ladders. Now, elites who hold money and power love thought leaders, and so does the marketplace. Unlike the critics and public intellectuals historically concerned with plumbing the depth of a problem, I love how he puts that. The thought leader's to-go cup only has space for hope, however artificial. Okay, but when you bake down an idea to become bite-sized, you're left with easy-to-swallow strategies, not for solving problems, but for living with them. This is how he describes it in the book. Watered-down theories of change that are personal, individual, depoliticized, respectful of the status quo and the system, and not in the least bit disruptive. The more genuine criticism is left out and the more sunny, actionable, takeaway-prone ideas are elevated, the shallower the very idea of change becomes. When a thought leader strips politics and perpetrators from a problem, she often gains access to a bigger platform to influence change makers, but she also adds to the vast pile of stories that tell us that change is easy, is a win-win, and doesn't require sacrifice. That's from chapter 4 of Winners Take All. This explains why the more questions I ask in my writing and on this podcast and on social media, the more answers I get back that look like this. Well, if capitalism won't solve it, RKA, what will? You say well-meaning millionaires won't save us, but I don't see you offering a better way. You recommended this book about what's going wrong, but do you have a book for what to do instead? And I can feel the desperation and the disdain coming from these messages. Am I seriously out here plumbing the depths of a problem in this economy? Does Starbucks serve 24-ounce cups of audacity now? How dare I explore hard questions if I don't have the easy answers? I ended episode 3 of the podcast telling you it took me 4,400-ish long days and dogged nights of becoming an expert to wake up and realize I knew nothing at all. No, I don't have the answers. And guess what? No one does. The sooner that we can accept this, the sooner we can get down to the real business of problem solving together. Bringing this back to my tweetable, remember that? Keep your eyes on your own paper if the story your business is writing has a happy ending with room enough only for you. Keeping your eyes on your own paper is a strategy for living in a system that needs us to believe we are all just one TED Talk, one tweet, one to-go cup of hope away from the next win-win solution. A system that needs us to believe that individual entrepreneurs, all with eyes on their own papers, will rescue us from the rolling boil of global collapse. That we should be grateful for our rafts. I mean, ladders are going to destroy the lifesaver economy. So, all right, here's another tweetable for you. Saving the world is no one's business, but it's all of our problem. And no, I don't have the solution, but we do. Prevailing business wisdom, like keep your eyes on your own paper, exists to ensure that the prevailing will prevail. If change is what we seek, if we are looking to build ladders, not rafts, we must be willing to put our papers together like puzzle pieces so we can see the bigger picture. Imposter syndrome and comparisonitis, the maladies that eyes on your own paper logic promises to treat, are side effects of thinking it is our job personally to invent the change and then trademark the change, patent its win-win formula, and finally tell the whole world about it in 18 minutes or less. As long as we're treating entrepreneurship as a race to the next great raft design, everyone around us is our opponent, not our collaborator. So we keep our eyes fixed firmly on our own papers, sipping on endless to-go cups, holding out hope that soon our solitary scribbles will turn into golden tickets. And the prevailing prevail, and the temperatures rise, and the answers evaporate before we even notice because we're too busy looking down. What does this mean for business owners like you and me struggling to survive in the steamy, stormy seas of capitalism, knowing that even the best rafts melt? Well, at risk of sounding like a Netflix special, just look up. This is ultimately why I believe branding, marketing, and business need more activists. Branding and activism have one thing in common. They're a dialogue, not a monologue. Your brand does not exist in your mind alone, but in the memories, the experiences, the expectations of your audience. Similarly, the change that we seek will not come from a single inventor who just so happens to be sponsored by the status quo. No, I do not believe that your business, my business, any business in and of itself will save the world. But I do believe if we put our heads together, we can craft more than a raft. And maybe, just maybe, once we climb above the condensation of capitalism, we can feast our eyes on a whole new world. One that just simply can't be described in 280 characters. What do you think? Let's compare notes. You can go to rachaelkaялbers.com, head to the contact box there. Share your thoughts on this episode. I'd love to hear from you. Let's keep the conversation going. If you want more marketing muckraking and brand strategy gone wild, I invite you to subscribe to this show, and if you enjoyed it, leave me a review. That really helps me out. If you hated it, please send it to your enemies. They sound like good people. You can go to rachaelkayalbers.com/subscribe to get these updates in your inbox. And because this show is self-sponsored, if you wanted to support my work, you can go to buymearobe.com. That's where the magic happens. In the meantime, remember, it's not the age of the niche, it's the age of the wildcard bitch. See you on the internet.